Welcome to What Happened Last Night, live from the biggest draft of all time.
Wow. I like how he says that after the draft we were in with him.
Yeah, as if we're
That's
there.
correct. Well, the best league already happened.
Yeah, the best leagues draft already occurred. The greatest league that'll ever exist. That totally should continue to exist. So we're here, folks. We're back.
Do we think real quick, do you think Joe Mixon over the hill?
Joe Mixon over the hill? I don't even remember what team he's on right
Mixon on Houston? No, I think he could be
Houston. Good. Okay. All right, cool. Picked him. Dude, we're back. We're freaking back. The haters thought we would never come back. And here we are. New look. The whole thing is revamped.
Yeah,
as the viewers can probably tell.
Rego's in our corporate studio with Elmo.
I got laundry to do. Socks to fold.
So, folks, just some programming.
We're back. We are.
Is that a Rego problem, James?
And
Rego, your audio is just cut out that whole time. Glad to hear it. Welcome back, folks. Just some programming reminders.
I
We're coming at you every time.
Anything important?
Yeah, no, it's all good. You're back though now. Rego's chill this season, so it's all good. And his audio is the one that cut out there, so it's all good. Are you
good to know the Wi-Fi still doesn't work in Philadelphia.
Yeah. You got to get the hell out of there.
I'm just going to do hand signals.
Yeah. Would you like to speak? Okay, we're off to our first 2 minutes of audio here. How are we all feeling about the NFL season? Rego, would you like to start us off?
Yeah. We tried to do a ranking, which technical difficulties happened, but I was excited because personally I think my team and another team in this trio is our top 10 teams, and I'm wondering who you think I'm talking about between the two of you.
It's definitely not the Cowboys. So
correct. So that means the Jets are a top 10 team. Woo! Woo, woo, woo.
Hopefully
at least before week 1.
Hopefully above number 8, but yeah, we'll take it. I'm terrified. I'm absolutely more scared than I've ever been going into a season because I finally cared last year and I had my guts ripped out within 40 seconds of week 1. So we're back on Monday Night Football. Couldn't be more thrilled. I'm very excited about it and not at all upset. And yeah, let's get it rolling. Playoffs are must.
Yeah, I feel like you have a lot of pressure on this season. Are you more excited or more nervous?
I think it's very hard to differentiate between the two. I would say it's near impossible. I'm terrified every day, but I haven't felt feelings about the Jets, positive or negative, in quite some time. So maybe I'm finally alive again.
I think maybe once you just get past the end of week 1, it'll start to be more excitement. I think really, honestly, like halftime. If you can get to halftime in the first game, that is like...
I would like to see Aaron Rodgers throw a pass that gets completed for 15 yards. If that happens, then I'll be like, oh, we're back.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too much to ask for.
Passing touchdown, we didn't get many of those last year. That would be electric. I would take that. Yeah. Honestly, it's just the only real bummer is how much press this Hassan Reddick thing is getting, because I understand that he's a big deal. Yes, it would be better if we had him. He is pretty irrelevant to whether or not the Jets would succeed this year. I don't think their defensive line will stink without him. They'll still be good. They have a great secondary. They have probably a top 5 linebacking duo. And
bless you, man.
And they should have a top half of the league offense, hopefully. So I
Yeah.
I think it's been annoying having it referred to this much because like obviously he's good and we'd like to have him, but Bryce Huff was a random player that we drafted anyway that ended up being quite good, but he wasn't like our entire pass rush. That is Quinnen Williams who's on the team.
But you also have to think about how sick Japan is,
I don't know. Like,
right?
this is on.
I don't get that reference.
Has he been in Japan?
Wasn't Hassan Reddick in Japan for like 3 weeks? And that's when, like, at the start of training camp, he wasn't there because I think he was in Japan. There was a picture of him in like a kimono
Aaron Rodgers.
and like,
it would make sense if Reddick went to Japan.
Is Stephon Diggs over the hill? Please, I have to jump in. I'm on the clock.
I just think that
I think
was crowded, and he's a bit of
he's got to play nice this year. He's on a 1-year deal
true.
with a
I
good
like
quarterback.
him. I'm going. I'm doing it.
He's either gonna
Do it.
He's either gonna get another big extension or be like Antonio Brown, where like you keep hearing from him, but he's never really relevant.
Not
Is he
to make
really
this
that
this
bad?
basic.
No,
Not to make this basically like, hey, is my next draft pick gonna be okay? How are we thinking about some
It's a
rookies?
good way to
Let's
go
talk
through the
rookies.
league.
How about we start with Rome Odunze?
I like Odunze. I don't think he's value if you're getting him before the 8th round.
Okay, so not gonna make.
Well, that was a really exact answer. Very impressive. I like Odunze, but it's going to be hard for him to eat. There's a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah.
But I like him a lot.
I love him and wish that the Jets had traded up 2 picks to get him, but I will take Fashanu and we'll see what happens. But he was my number 1 priority in the draft. I was hoping we would take him. So I was jealous, but I've been liking him on Hard Knocks too. And that preseason touchdown was preseason big throw was pretty nice. Should we go like division by division? Do we want to do the games? What do we want to do? Because we have absolutely no plan here. Also, James, loving the zoom in on your face.
Oh, sorry.
You look like my mom on a Zoom call.
I'm back on the clock. Sorry.
Yeah, you guys are really picking a great night for us to record.
Well, to be fair, I totally told everyone about this.
Yes, but then
Yeah, and I just picked Dak Prescott.
and then Rego didn't tell everyone that he also had a draft.
So you just took that guy who's on that shitty team.
I just took Dak Prescott in the 6th round, so things are looking good. Well, I mean, if this sounds like the perfect opportunity for me to talk about my Eagles real quick.
Yeah,
so
we really teed it up.
I think the natural transition is for me to talk about my Eagles right now, and I think that the Eagles are a Super Bowl contender. Am I wrong?
Well, Sao Paulo is beautiful this time of year. So, I hope they've been down there enjoying the weather, getting ready. Is this the first Friday night game? Well, obviously there was the Black Friday game, but have they done Fridays before this year?
I don't think so.
Maybe once or twice when they had like weather delays, but pretty interesting that they're taking over more days of the week. But talking macro about the Eagles, couldn't have ended any worse last year, I would say, right? But you replaced Hassan Reddick with a young, hungry Bryce Huff, although he did get paid. So, there's always that. I think the weapons are all there. You have a new offensive and defensive coordinator.
Yeah, dude, we took the whiz kid from the Cowboys.
Jason Kelce seems to be high on his replacement at center. I mean, if your offense is good again, like,
and
the sky's the limit. But it's the problem really just is like, can you get over how bad that collapse was last year? And does Sirianni have the locker room or not? What do you?
I think our offensive weapons are almost overwhelming.
Yes,
I think we have the best group of offensive weapons in the NFL. Am I wrong?
Debatable, but you
don't have a good quarterback, so that's a bit of an issue, but no worries about that.
But
I mean, just saying.
I don't think you have a top like 3 quarterback. I do think if you, I
AJ
mean,
Brown and Saquon Barkley are sick, but I mean, you lost Jason Kelsey, who is a bit of his QB push blanket. I don't know. Sirianni showed that he's not a good play caller or a good coach. We'll see.
All right,
sounds
I'm
like
going to
James
refute
is
those points point
very
by
bold.
point. We'll start with Jason Kelsey, who's an undersized center. I think
Best center
most
of
of the
all
tush
time,
push
so you don't know
actually.
what you're talking about. But
Sure, sure,
yeah.
sure. No, best center of all time, but undersized. So when you talk about him in the tush push, I think most of the power actually comes from Jalen Hurts' legs, as the guy can squat over 550 pounds. I think in terms of just saying Saquon Barkley.
Oh no, Rago. He wanted to record on Zoom and he can't keep the Wi-Fi up. You can hear me, right, James?
I got you loud and clear, brother.
So let's just assume that Rago just made an absolutely salient and well-argued point about why Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback.
No, look, I mean, yeah, obviously I'm an Eagles hater. I was just saying they have a great supporting cast. I think the quarterback and the play calling is sketchy. I do think the tush push won't be as effective
Do you
this
think
year.
Hurts is a bad quarterback? I think that's bold.
I,
I think he took a
I
step back.
don't think he's great.
Yeah. Rago, we finished your argument for you. Everything's going to be great. Eagles Super Bowl. I think that's what we're saying, right, James?
Yeah, I think the Eagles will be one of the worst teams in the league.
One of the worst teams in the league. Do you actually think bottom third?
I think no, I think they'll be mid
Wow.
pack.
Mid pack.
We're gonna be mid pack. Oh my god, dude. Oh my
I
gosh.
have them in the
We'll
one or
still,
two, on the 1 or 2 in the absolutely monstrous NFC beast.
dude. I can't
To be fair, I've never
go
gotten to say
so
what I think
far
about the
back in the
Cowboys.
rankings for the
Rago,
Cowboys
you
this
might need to
year.
get on your phone, dude. This is bad. It's been bad.
Oh,
Because I don't even know if you know that you cut out and we just talked over you for a minute. It didn't sound like he realized that that was happening.
I think he had no idea.
All right, folks. Our audio.
I'll talk about the Cowboys while he's gone.
Yeah, yeah, go for it.
So usually I'm an optimistic fan. I am actually, as much as I just pour the Eagles a new one because I hate them.
Yeah,
Um, I I'm taking a new stance this year. I kind of think the Cowboys are going to stink.
I know you keep saying this. A lot of people are still bullish on them. I mean, they didn't do anything except sign CeeDee Lamb. I think their offense will still be pretty good, but I think stink for them is still like 9-8 though. Do you think they're going to go like
Yeah.
6-11? Welcome
I
back.
mean, they could be like one of the worst teams in the league.
Your connection's still not great, Rago, but this is maybe better. What are you on? Like Cox Wi-Fi? What's going on here? Can you hear us? Uh-oh. Who are you
I
picking?
think I'm back, baby.
Yeah, you're back. You're back. It does keep saying that your bandwidth is low, but we're glad to have you back. So we wrapped up about the Eagles. James thinks the Cowboys are not going to be very good this year, which he has mentioned before. So the door's wide open for
Oh,
the East, even if the Eagles take a bit of a step back record-wise. Uh, I don't really think either other team in there is going to be a contender. I do think the Commanders will be actually fun to watch this year for the first time in a decade, probably since RG3, I would say. But I like
fun.
Jim Daniels, and I think they'll have some fun games, kind of like the Lions for like 15 years when they would like be down 20 points, but then score 2 touchdowns and lose.
Cardiac Cats.
What's that, James?
The Cardiac Cats.
Yeah, the Cardiac Cats, who are no longer the Cardiac Cats. They are a juggernaut. What do we think of the Lions this year? A lot of people have them as their bold Super Bowl pick, even though they were in the NFC Championship last year. I feel like they're geared up. They're now experienced. Amon-Ra's a year older. Goff, another year of experience with a big, deep playoff run, played a lot better in this playoff run than he did in his Super Bowl run. How do we feel about the Lions?
Yeah, I mean, I get nervous about them being like a big favorite, but that being said, I think they'll be really good. I don't see how they can be that bad.
They're
Yeah.
better than last year. They addressed some issues, especially in the secondary. They got Gibbs now, which is I think he is going to be a weapon for them. Uh, I think Amon Ra is going to have probably a
Monster.
top monstrous season. I think their indoor advantage that they're going to get most of the season is going to be huge for them. The Super Bowl indoors. They're a fast team on a fast track. I mean, all the cliches. Um,
Every single
I think,
Grit, baby, grit.
yeah, I think that's a team that it's the only question I have with them is I think you can only get so far with a player's coach instead of a like smart schematic coach. And I think Dan Campbell can rally the boys up, but I just don't know if that wins you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would argue Gruden was kind of like that and won with the Bucks, but he's also maybe a little more schematically gifted. I don't really know what his he was like at the
Yeah,
time.
why banana?
It's true. Uh, my only question too is I feel like for the first time in a while, the rivalries in the NFC North, which have been much maligned during the Rodgers era, where they just dominated, I feel like a lot of these teams will be able to steal a win over each other, which I think will be fun. Even the Vikings, I can see easily nabbing a game from the Bears, probably not from the Lions, but like from the Bears and the Packers. Like I don't see any team going 6-0 in the division. I see maybe 1-5-1 and everyone else kind of splitting.
Yeah. Sorry, just to cut in real fast. I just went down the Eagles schedule game by game. We go 13.
13-4.
Yeah, I think we go probably 1-1 with like one of the other teams in the division. We probably just go 2-0 against
Outrageous
the
comment.
other
It'll
two
be the
teams.
Cowboys.
And then it can be, that's fine. Out of the other three teams in the division, I'm allowing for one win out of the those games that we have to play. And then I think maybe Baltimore is kind of tough. Maybe the Rams. And then, the rest of it's a coin toss. Maybe we lose to like a random, a sleep game, Carolina. But I think 13-4 is probably a conservative expectation for the Eagles.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm a fan of the Jets, so I have them on my board pegged at 17-0. But that's conservative.
Come on, let's be realistic here. Come on.
No, I think the Jets' ceiling is probably 13-4. They have apparently the ninth easiest schedule, but they still have to play Dolphins and Bills twice, and they have the Texans on there. It's very nice that we avoided the Chiefs division this year in our draw because a lot of our outside division opponents are not super strong. We do play the NFC West, which obviously I feel like the Seahawks are going to have a pretty resurgent year and that the Rams are very frisky. And even the Cardinals, like NFC West is the kind of like out of the blue pick of all four teams could be good. What are your
I
thoughts?
think I think that's probably pretty fair. Um,
Obviously, one team won't be as good because they'll lose more divisional games, but I think all four of the NFC West teams could be good. And frankly, I think the 49ers could take a step back and one of those other teams could win the division.
yeah, I think that's going to be a big story this year. I do think the 49ers take a little bit of a step back. I think Brock Purdy comes back to earth. I don't think he's, just going to sit behind their offense and just be able to be dominant.
That's that,
I don't see it happening.
that said, though, they haven't won a Super Bowl, but they are similar to the Chiefs in that they've been dominant for several years. Their roster hasn't changed significantly, and no one thinks that of the Chiefs this year, who's had a little more turnover in the wide receiver room, but I guess in a positive way, they've kind of lit it up with new talent. Whereas the 49ers are the same and are just another year older with the same unknown quantity last quarterback picked in the draft who might just be surrounded with tons of talent and might still suck.
Yeah. I Here's a fun thing that we might be able to do. How about, since we all have teams, well, two of us that are probably going to do well this year, um, we could. I think we should all pick. Although, sorry, now that I'm saying this out loud, Jimmy has like 7 teams that he likes. But my idea was going to be, I think we should also pick another team in the NFL this year that we think
Can we go cross?
not.
Because I
We
can't.
just want to, yeah, yeah. It can't be in your conference. Maybe, yeah. You go AFL, you go NFC. Yeah, I think,
The AFL, yeah, that ended 50 years ago. But yeah, that's cool.
yeah, dude. You go Houston Oilers. No, so AFC, NFC, pick a different team, and
Okay.
that's something we're gonna root for this
Wait, is this
season.
pick like, I'm sorry, is it to be a champion or to be a good team that was supposed to be a bad team? Like what?
To be a top
You
to be a top 2 seed.
No, I think you just pick a team.
Like that you'll be rooting for?
Yeah, that you're going to be rooting for. Like this year in college football, not to already get to college football, we don't. Georgetown doesn't have a team,
Yeah.
so I'm a free agent. I've decided this year I'm Notre Dame. I'm Notre Dame this year. I
Well,
want to
that's
pick another team.
but okay.
What's
Big
wrong
win.
with it?
Big
Yeah,
What's
win.
wrong with them? I hate them. But go ahead. Just keep the theme going. Um uh but my AFC yeah, I mean fuck off, Ringo. My AFC team
You didn't know what you were doing, Ringo, right?
I swear to God, I did not because I've been playing NCAA football and I
Yeah.
started a dynasty and I got a head coaching job at Notre Dame and I was like,
Yeah.
fucking, let's go. I love
There
the
was
movie
this little
Rudy.
thing in the mid 2000s where Notre Dame and the USC had a bitter, huge rivalry that persisted.
What?
the rivalry is the only one that's East Coast, West Coast in the entire country. So yeah, just you know what? Fuck off, Ringo. But
I
that's
love
fine.
I love it. Hey,
The AFC team I'm gonna go with. I already root for a few teams, but the one that's gonna be random, I'm gonna root for the Colts.
ooh,
Okay.
you like
Just
it?
real quick, is Illinois East Coast?
I mean, no, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
They're cross-
The Colts. Why are you gonna pick the
I just
Colts?
like I think that's a team people are sleeping on. Like I have no dogs in the AFC. I mean, that's the grossest division in football. I like Michael Pittman. AR is interesting. Um, Jonathan Taylor's back. They have a cool O line. Quentin Nelson, who went to Notre Dame. Um,
James
I'm
loves it.
on the clock again. And so
Oh
yeah,
shit! I've
I like the
auto-drafted the rest of my
Colts.
draft. Fuck it.
I
Uh,
like the Colts. And Jim Irsay is a total dog as an owner.
yeah,
True. True.
I like that.
Okay.
He likes the sauce.
And also, it's against the grain. A lot of people are into the Texans and the Jags. Go with the Colts. Why not?
Respectable.
I want Levis to sling it this year, but I don't.
Oh no, that was my team. No.
Wait, is that who you're picking? Then
I'm
go.
literally
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm picking an NFC team, so you go ahead.
Okay, Yeah, I'm Tennessee Titans. I think they've got a kind of a fuck you attitude after, everything went downhill with Derrick Henry and Tannehill and especially with like the hey, you should hire Rabel for the Patriots job and that got given to somebody else, even though he was probably the most ideal candidate for it. I think they have a big fuck you attitude over in Tennessee. I'm a big fan of Nashville, honky tonk, been there, done that. I think Will Levis also has a fuck you attitude. The draft
Man,
night, drama, sitting in his chair with his girlfriend that, broke up with him later. I think DeAndre Hopkins has got a fuck you attitude because he's been getting hurt recently. And this season he's coming back and hoping to put up big numbers. Calvin Ridley, suspended from the league, wants to have a big year with the Tennessee Titans. Tony Pollard, a backup to Ezekiel Elliott for however many years, and now is getting his shine.
yeah, Tony coming off a great year.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
Peter
be too high.
Skronsky, the left guard, has a fuck you attitude because that's just the way he was raised.
And then my
Wait,
NFC
three
team
quick things on Will
is
Levis.
going to be the Chicago Bears.
Your NFC team, the Chicago Bears, because you're not rooting for the Cowboys this year. Got it.
No,
Three.
no, no. Well, you're
Wait,
supposed
three.
to pick an AFC and an NFC team.
Oh, I thought we were just picking a cross-conference team, but go for it. You
I
got.
thought, yeah,
We're
fuck it,
picking.
dude. You're a Bears fan.
We're each picking both. But wait,
Yeah, add it to Jimmy's list.
three
Yeah,
quick things on Will
check.
Levis.
Go
Will
ahead.
Levis rode the bus with my fiance in elementary school. Will Levis has a mayonnaise scented cologne deal with Hellman's Mayo. And Will Levis is banging Victoria F from The Bachelor. Look her up. So he's got a lot going for him, and I think that's going to be a great year for him. My AFC team is going to be the Bengals. I like my Ravens usually, but I just like Joe Burrow. I know there's something about his wrist and blah, 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 and Jamar Chase, but they just did the Chase deal. They were fun as hell a couple years ago, and I would like to see that again. That's kind of the only reason why.
I like that.
NFC team is going to be I'm torn. I can't do the Seahawks because I hate Geno Smith till the day I die because he ruined the New York Jets for 13 years. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals. The only worry for the Cardinals is that the new Call of Duty comes out. That was a pro tip from a friend of mine that said, get him in week 1 through 7, maybe bench him afterwards in fantasy. But I do think the Cardinals could have a fun year with Maserati Marv, and I think Kyler Murray could still be a top half of the league quarterback, and I just think they'd be fun to watch. And it would be fun if they were good this year because it would kind of make the NFC a mess.
I will pick from the NFC the New York Giants. No. I'll pick the Rams. I think they're gonna have a great year. I think it's nice if I have a shit team as the Tennessee Titans. Maybe they'll be okay. But if I have the Rams to also root for, the Rams are gonna have I think a phenomenal year. And Matthew Stafford, fuck you. Sean McVay, he's got a real fuck you attitude.
Oh my God.
Both my teams have a real fuck you attitude. So yeah,
practice pod. I don't know if we can release this to the public the way the audio is coming out right now.
I think it sounds great. Well, I think that was a great NFL preview that we just did.
Yeah.
Really got into the key points on each team.
So wait, couple things. Rago picked a new college team that is USC's main rival besides UCLA. James picked Colts as his AFC team. Rago then picked another team in that division. So I think we're set up for a very fun and frisky year. I think we should write these down so we don't forget, because it will be fun to come back and check on how our other teams are doing, just in case anything, even though nothing could possibly go wrong with this season and the Jets are going to go to the Super Bowl and everything's going to be fine. But if anything does go wrong, we'll be able to check in and think about these teams. We've got 2 minutes before the Zoom call ends automatically. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, James, Saturday, November 30th, our two teams, our two big college football.
Yeah, I have 6 tickets. Will you be getting one? We don't know.
Well, I was going to invite you because my family has been buying Notre Dame tickets for years, actually. But I guess I'll see you there, maybe.
Is it at South Bend, James?
No, November 30th. It's at the Coliseum.
Oh,
Thanksgiving weekend.
2 1-0 teams coming off pretty big wins for both of them.
Both.
Slightly bigger one for Notre Dame, but both big wins.
I mean, maybe. I mean, LSU is ranked higher, but yeah, on the road for Notre Dame. Both huge. Yeah. Both the biggest wins of the week.
Notre Dame's got,
or maybe Georgia, but
USC has to go through a bit of a gauntlet this year to make it to November 30th, though.
Yeah,
that's true. Notre Dame's got a
true, but I
cakewalk.
think you can make the playoff
Go
with 2
Irish.
losses.
You got to hope as a USC fan. Us Notre Dame, we're looking for a #1 seed. So look, I think that was a fantastic football preview. I think we hit all the points. I think everybody got across a very salient argument.
Our listener will really enjoy it, and I think what we do this year is we try and do more than one episode, and we'll do a few more of those this year. We got to
Absolutely, we'll keep them tight.
We'll keep them tight.
9:30, baby.
Actually, maybe we shouldn't get a new Zoom thing because
It's pretty great that Rego went from being the editor to his audio was the worst of anyone.
Yeah, he's really downgraded every year. We appreciate that.
He's so chill. This year he has terrible audio.
Super chill.